everybody, welcome to today's video. So as you can tell, today is kind of a lazy day for me. We are almost done with 2017. I thought today would be a really good day to go ahead and film the best and worst of Boxycharm in 2017. And I guess I could go ahead and say this is more so of a yay, nay, and just okay video. I did get this idea from, and I'm going to say her name wrong, so Andrea Matilano, I think. I'm sorry. Not my idea. I stole it. I'm pretty sure it was her though, so I am trying to give credit where credit is due. But with that being said, if you are interested in my opinions on Boxycharm's best and worst of 2017, please keep watching, and let's get into the video. Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake, 'cause I don't fucking care. So some of these products I don't have on me because either one, I use them, two, I could not find them, or three, they're in my MUA kit. Starting off with the worst. So the products that I did not like at all. First one is the RealHer Do Your Squats palette. This one was a huge disappointment because I actually like the colors. The quality's not there. It's not. It's really not. At least for my eyes, again, everyone is different. So if you like this palette, again, don't get butthurt. This just did not work for me. I found that, especially the darker colors, first off, this color right here is supposed to be like a reddish burgundy, and it did not come off red at all. There was like no warmth to it. The pigment and the quality is just really not there with this palette. So this was probably my biggest disappointment out of everything. There was one month we got 3 facial masks. I didn't use them in the original month's video. I used them in the next month's video. I don't like those. I did not like those at all. They burn. I don't have sensitive skin to an extent. There is some products that will mess with my face and cause my face to burn, so I do need, like, when it comes to moisturizers and things like that, they do need to be a little less harsh. They burned my face. I used one of them that I think was for moisturizing, and the other one was for something else. They burned my face, and I did not even use the third one because I was like, F that. I am not going to destroy my face trying to use up a mask. No, I did not like those. Bare Minerals Prep Step. I feel like Bare Minerals is one of those brands that nothing of theirs ever works for me. So I liked this because it was supposed to be an SPF lotion basically, but it's for makeup, kind of. So this was going to be like one of those perfect products for me, but this, I don't like the smell of this. Like, I remember, let me try to explain this again. Okay, I can't smell it because my nose is stopped up. I don't know why I thought that was going to work. But I remember the smell of this being really bad. It's like super liquidy. You got to shake it up a lot. And even when you shake it up, it's still liquidy. It still really doesn't do anything. And I didn't notice that it did anything. Like, it didn't do nothing. Unfortunately, I did not like that, which kind of sucks because that would have been a really good product for me to use. Ooh. This one, I don't know where it's at. I don't have it on me, but there was one month we got the Bella Pierre eyeliner. That eyeliner was absolute shit. Like, that was one of those where it was like, you can't say anything. It was shit. I'm sorry. I'm not, but I am. I used it in the actual Boxycharm video, and then I retried it in another video, and in the second video it wouldn't even go on my eyes. So I don't know what happened with that, but ooh, the Jante Bleu, I don't know if that's actually the name of it, but I like to say that. So that lip liner, very dry, and I have dry lips as is, so it was only $5 lip liner, which is really not that big of a deal, but I have lip liners for basically the same price that work a lot better and feel a lot nicer on your lips. It was really pretty color. It went on your lips, so I guess it was kind of pigmented, but it just was super drying and it didn't feel good. And then I messed around and decided to pair it with the Tarte lip paint, which is the next product on the list. That thing, and I've said this in a video before, but that was a crusty hot mess. I used it with that lip liner, and when I used it with that lip liner, I don't know if just they did not work together or if the Tarte lip paint is just shit to begin with, but I mean it is, but we'll get to that in a second. But when I put it on my lips with the lip liner, it completely made my lips crusty hot mess. Like, I was so quick to want to take those off. Like, it was bad. It was just really bad. Those two together are terrible. But then I turned around and tried the Tarte lip paint by itself, and it was streaky. It was too pale. I am the color of this almost, and it was too pale for me. But even if the color was still the color it was and the formula was better, I would have tried to make it work. But that formula was just hot shit. I feel bad to say this because I don't necessarily think these are like bad brushes. These are the Luxie Travel Set brushes. I guess my first complaint would be the size, because just to grab another brush here, we'll grab the other Luxie brush. As you can see, half the size. I mean, it's travel kit, so I can understand that. I don't really know how to say this. I just really don't like these. This little liner brush right here, this is the 221T, which stands for travel set, I'm assuming. This is good because it gets up there and you can get right under the lash line, but it's kind of rough. Like, I've had to wash it a couple times and it's a little bit softer now, but it's just, and I never reach for these. I never do. If I'm doing my makeup, I reach for the other stuff. I think these are a cool idea. I'm not a fan. And these are like 30 bucks for these 4. I think that was my biggest complaint, because I appreciate Boxycharm for sending them. Don't get me wrong. Because if I would have bought these and got these, I would be pissed. I probably would have gotten a refund. So this one right here is the Studio Makeup Luminous Blush. I don't want to call this worst, because it's actually a very, very pretty blush. I don't want to say it's a little too dark for me. It's really not. If you use a light hand, even fair skin tones can use it, but it is a tad bit too dark for my skin. And the fact that it's a loose blush kind of makes it, to be honest, it kind of makes it a pain in the ass to use. I never reached for it. I used it literally twice, I think, and I thought the color was really pretty, but I just never reached for it, so I just went ahead and put it in my MUA kit because I think it would get a lot more use there than it would on me, because I already have blushes that are my favorite and blushes that I'm going to reach for, whereas that one I didn't reach for. So I don't want to say that that's a bad product. It's actually really not. I just, for me, I can't really mess with it too much. So this came in our September box, if I'm not mistaken. I think this was a September box. This is the Bare Minerals. Damn, I'm sorry. I'm not shitting on Bare Mineral. Well, I kind of am. I apologize. But this is the Perfecting Face brush. I have to be utterly honest. I hated it. Because first off, this is shedding. This is shedding like my dog, okay? And this little hole here, I like the concept of this brush. Let me go ahead and say that. Let me start with a positive and then reinforce it with a what you can fix for it next time type thing, okay? This is all messed up. Anyway, I like the concept of this because what you're supposed to do is just put a little bit of the foundation in this little hole here. I don't even know if you can see the hole. Maybe you can. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. You see the hole right there? You're supposed to put the foundation in there and then apply it to your face and just do it like that. However, when I did that, first off, this middle piece right here, this like dense like brush underneath, I feel like they did that because they didn't want the product to seep through. However, it did still. It seeped straight through this middle piece of the brush, okay? And so it ate up my product when I was trying to swirl it around. It made my face streaky, and then there was pieces of hair. Best part of it all. This little dense piece, it still ate my product and I couldn't even wash it out. Again, Bare Minerals, I'm sorry, but they just seem to be one of those brands that does not like me. First one is the Highlight and Contour Palette by, I don't know, I think it's EBATES. I really liked that for a minute. However, the contour shades kind of just, a couple of them were a little too warm for me. And then the darkest one was a good tone for me, but it was too dark. And then the highlight colors really did nothing for me. I just ended up using my other loose powders for highlighting, and I just never really used it to what I thought I was gonna use it for. This is the contour brush by Crown Beauty. It has really nothing to do with the brush itself. It's just, well, these are just not my favorite brushes. I think they're a cool idea, but every time I use them, they don't perform. I think I do it wrong or something, because they don't perform the way I feel like they should. I never use them. Oh, the Brow Gal palette. That is in my MUA kit. When I first got that eyebrow palette and I used it the first time, it was like perfect. Best eyebrow powder I've ever used in my life. Color was perfect. It was a really good product. It worked for me. However, after like the third maybe use of it, third or fourth use, I don't know what happened, but it just kind of fell a little short after that, and I feel as if a lot of it was because maybe the top layer was gone, and I think whatever that kind of waxy top, like waxiness on the top layer had, I think that's a lot of what worked really well for me, and after that was gone, it just kind of fell short after that. Alright, so the O for Body Illuminizer, I put that in the OK section. But it's not really fair that I put it in that section because I never really used it except for on my hand to see how it would look, and it looked like it would look very nice. I couldn't really put it in a good or bad because I didn't use it. So Royal and Langnickel 3-piece set. I have very different opinions on each and every one of those products. The eyeshadow, that brush, it's good in a way that you shouldn't have to use it. Does that make sense? I don't like using it to apply eyeshadows because I feel like when I apply eyeshadows with that brush, it makes them patchy and they don't look good. But when I use that brush to blend, it's phenomenal. The chisel brush, I used a couple times. I liked it when I used it, but to be honest, like, I don't really even contour that much, and I feel like this is just one of those things that where it's like, I don't know, I don't reach for it enough to really speak on. This one, this is the Pointed Blush Brush. I actually like this brush. I remember very vividly liking this brush, but I think it was just too big because I never reached for it. I also think I used it to set under my eyes once, and I kind of liked it for that too. Next thing that I put in the OK because it worked really good, I actually really liked it, I just never reached for it. This is the Alouette Lip and Cheek Tint. Beautiful on my cheeks. I did not like it on the lips at all. I thought it was absolute shit on the lips. No offense, Alouette. It's just a pain in the ass to put on. Like, you have to put it on a beauty blender and blend it out, and then if you don't have enough, you gotta add. It's in a tube. Like, I would so much rather just take my brush and dip it in a pan and be done. Is it beautiful? Yes. It's just too much work. Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2. I really liked it when I got it because I really wanted cool tone shadows and stuff like that. I used it like 3 times, I think, and I haven't reached for it since. So the only complaint I have is one of the colors that sticks out the most is this blue shade, and it looks black on the eyes. The shadows work, they're pigmented. I just never reached for it. Dr. Brandt Pore Scrub. I found it to be pretty harsh on my skin though, so I liked it to an extent. I really love the tingling sensation that it gives. It makes you feel like really refreshed. Would I repurchase it? Absolutely not, because I find it a little too harsh to my skin. I like the fact that the beads are really small, but I feel like there's so many, it hurts a little. Dirty Little Secret Crayon. I have to be fair and put this in the okay because I literally only used it for that video. It's just, if I want a shimmer, I'm gonna grab it from whatever palette I'm using, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to use this as a base too, and I just never got around to it. Alright, so this one, I don't used it the one time and I kind of lost my interest after that. If makeup does not catch my interest, like if it doesn't wow me in the very beginning, I lose interest in it, and that's basically what happened with this. Cons, I would do the cons first because we're going to end on a positive note. It was patchy. It didn't look very pretty on my lips. Pros, very comfortable. It was pretty pigmented. It glided on very nice, but I just did not like how it ended up looking after you put it on. MAC eyebrow pencil. Very first MAC product I ever used. I don't feel like it was worth the retail that it had at all. And it was the wrong color. It was too warm for my eyebrows. So, okay, so the KNC lip masks, I think I still have a couple of those somewhere. I'm pretty sure I didn't use the other two that I had. It came with 3. I think it was 3 for $15. So they were basically like $5 a piece. They did good. I did not see any plumping or anything in my lips at all, but they did. I do feel like the mask did moisturize my lips. Would I repurchase it? No. That's why it's in the okay, because I did see that it did something, but I don't think it would be worth rebuying. And those lips masks were huge. So, last but not least, and I'm just gonna have to explain myself, but this is the Pure Soiree Diaries. It's in the okay. For one and only one reason. It's literally just a nude palette. They're beautiful shades. They work beautifully. And I do like the palette a lot. But it is, in the end, it's just a nude palette. So when I want to do something, it's not the first thing I reach for. Is it a good palette? Yes. If you like nudes, I would very highly recommend that palette because it is a very nice palette, and I do think for people who like more nudie shades and want to use more nudie things, that is a really good palette. Nothing unique about it. There's no pops of color that would really like spark your interest really. I do want to admit though that I absolutely love this Dazzle shade right here. That one is probably the most interesting shade in there because it's like a almost cool tone shimmery brown, but it didn't wow me. Like that is literally the only reason it's in the okays, and I never reached for it. I actually sanitized it and put it in my MUA kit because I felt like for me it's gonna serve more of a purpose to be in that kit than it would if I had it in my collection. Would really love to see or to use another Pure palette and use one that has colors and things like that. So this is the Tarte Tarteiest Lip Mascara. I like this because it is definitely pigmented. It definitely goes straight on your lashes. It is what I'm wearing today. I see no volume in this at all. The only thing that I see is length, which there's no issue with that, but it claims to be very voluminous and I don't see that. I have better. I have other mascaras that I like a little more. I love the brush on this, the wand. So this is the Liquid Glow. This is the Temp 2 Liquid Glow and Boxycharm collaboration. I love this. I used to, I haven't done it in a while. I used to mix this with my foundation a lot. And I think I might have used it as a highlight maybe once, and I'm pretty sure it was too dark. So I basically only use this for a foundation mixer, which is why I still have a lot. So the next thing on the best list is the Brow Brush by Brow Gal. That is a lot of brow. This brush, this angled brush, is so good. It is so good. It's so super thin. It's so precise. This is probably the best brush, and I love the fact that it has a spoolie on the end. It's really good. I really love this brush. I think this is probably the best brush that they came out that I got in any of the Boxycharms. Highlighting brush by Luxie. This is super soft, super nice, But this is supposed to be a highlighting brush, and I don't think that it's a highlighting brush. I think that this is a really nice brush for setting underneath the eyes. Maybe I'll try it again as a highlighting brush and see where it goes from there. I love this brush though. It's super soft. It feels so good on the face. It's just hard to find something to use it for because of its size. If it was a smaller tapered brush or even just a skinnier tapered brush, I think highlighting would be perfect for it. Ofra lipstick. I love this, but I despise the smell. It smells like cherry cough syrup. It stinks. I don't know what these people are talking about, this heaven thing. Maybe mine is just a bad batch. I hope mine is a bad batch, because if there's people I think this smells good. This is in the shade Tuscany. Beautiful shade. Love the color. Lasts forever on the lips. Thank God that after I apply this, I don't smell it anymore, because if that was the case, I would put this in the worst products because I really despise the smell of this. Next on the best list is the Artist Couture highlighter. This is in Illuminati. The only complaint I have about this is it's a little bit too on the gold side because I'm too fair for that. But this is a beautiful highlighter, and I have other ways that I use this, especially with the holidays coming up. I'm going to probably get all kinds of use out of this for like eyeshadows and things like that. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful color. Next thing that I love, this is the Electric Eyes. So this is the Electric Eyes palette by Blink. Love this palette, but to be honest, it is kind of hard to use because it's literally 5 shimmer shades. And to be honest, that some of these shades do come in other palettes that I have, so I don't reach for this as often as I would like. But this is a really good palette, and I really do like it. Winky Lux Brow Pencil. The best eyebrow pencil I own. Perfect tone for my eyes because I do have very ashy eyes. The only thing I will say is that the lighter your eyebrows are, the more careful you have to be when you're using that, because you can get a little too dark a little too fast. Alright, so this one is just clumped all into one. Basically every ColourPop lipstick that I got in the Boxy Charm I liked. I started to write out which ones I got, and I was like, just lump them together because that's going to be too much. The Pure Lashes. So they are in my drawer over here. I love those. Those look so, like, I put them on my lashes and they just look fierce. I appreciate the fact that you can wear them 30 or more times, because I will probably be wearing them 30 more times. The Becca Liquid Highlighter. This is probably one of my favorite things in the entire year. I love this. It is a pump, which I appreciate. It is a liquid highlighter. This is in the shade Prosecco Pop. The only complaint I have is that it's a tiny bit too dark, but when you blend this out, you can make it work. And it only other complaint is that you have to blend it out, so it makes it a tad bit more of a subtle glow. But if you like subtle glows, then it's perfect. I mean, really, this is perfect anyway. I love this. You can also mix it with your foundation and stuff like that. So I had absolutely no issues with that, really. I still use it as is on my cheeks and everything. Next, we have the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Spray. I love this setting spray. The mist is so fine on this that you can almost not feel it. So it is one of those things where you have to be a little careful because you can go ham because you're not going to know. However, the only complaint that I do have is the fact that this has glitter in it. I'm not against glitter. I don't want to look like I just came from the strip club. So that's the only complaint I have about this. Winky Lux Kitten Palette. I love this. There's really no other way around it. This is like a really good palette. This is the kind of palette that I kind of wish that the Pure palette would have been, because you have your neutrals, but you have your pops of color and like uniqueness to the palette, where you can do something. Like this shade right here, this holographic shade, my absolute favorite. It's like a bronzy, icy blue duochrome. I've paired it with about 5 different colors on here, and it works with all of them. I really love this palette. Alright, last 3 things. I'm gonna have to power through these. RealHer, Be Fearless, Be Limitless. The only complaint I have is that for whatever reason these have glitter in them. but they are on my cheeks today. I did go a little more intense because I ended up using all 3 of these, trying to play around with them. The first 2 that I used were these colors right here, and I mixed them together. Love these 2 paired together, and then I topped it off with this because I just wanted to see. These 2 are more of, these 2 bottom ones are more of kind of mattes. This does have glitter in it. This is a matte. This is a satin glittery blush though. It's really pretty, not quite my cup of tea. But these 2 I'll probably get the most use out of. Crown brush. This is the blush brush. I really like this. A lot of people are complaining that it was a little too dense. I agree to an extent. I like denser blush brushes, but it kind of holds the color a little bit too much in the middle here. So I do wish it was a tad bit fluffier because then it would be easier to kind of blend it out without having to grab another brush. Last but not least, and we are done because I have spent way too long on this video. This is the Pretty Vulgar. This is the metallic liquid lip in the shade My Lips Are Sealed 106 Secret Sabotage. But it's a metallic lip. It is what you see on my lips today. It's beautiful. I swatched this on my boyfriend's hand, and I have to say for medium skin tones, this is going to look gorgeous on you as well. It honestly looks a little better on him than it did me. I was a little bit jealous, I'm not going to lie, but it still looks really, really pretty on my lips, so I can't really complain too much. Super comfortable. It's really nice though. I love the packaging. I love the little floral right here. Really, really good liquid lipstick. The Don't Despair hair mask that came in the September box, that thing was amazing, and it's definitely gone. I used it all. They could have, you know, sent like 5 of those. If that would have been appreciated by Brigio or whatever the brand is. So I do plan to eventually buy the full size of that. I just need to get somewhere that I can be sent things like that. This video is finally over. It's probably going to be the longest video ever in life. So I apologize, and if you made it this far, I really, really appreciate it because my God, you are a trooper. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and you can also share because that would be really, really appreciated. Also, I do want to go ahead and make the announcement, bringing in 2018. I am starting a vlog channel. I'm going to talk more about living in Japan and stuff like that. It's going to be called BenniVlogs. By the time I actually launch it and start getting those types of videos up, I will post it down below. So if you are interested in that kind of stuff, you can pay attention to the description boxes down below. If it's posted, it will be down there. If it's not, it won't be down there. So with that being said, I hope that you have a wonderful day, night, wherever you are. And as always, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.